Hey everyone, it's Catching Tease here. Welcome to my channel where today we are discussing why Cupid went viral. Oh boy, here we go. I have a sneaking suspicion that this video might pull in a lot of people who are new to the channel, so if you're one of those people, hi, hello, welcome, and I just want to clarify that no, I am not just months late on the Cupid hype train. This is actually a series that I have on my channel, why it went viral, and I wanted to wait until the song ran its full course before I covered it. Then, certain dilemmas of the legal variety started happening, and I was like, I'll wait until that's over. And then it proceeded to go on for multiple months, and I'll be honest, I still don't know if it's entirely over or not. So I just said, screw it, we're doing the video anyways. So yeah, disclaimer, I am not going to touch the legal situation around 50-50 with a 10-foot pole. That whole thing is incredibly messy, and I am not informed enough about the Korean legal system to even attempt any commentary regarding that. On top of that, I just don't think it's relevant to this video, as Cupid blew up way before any of the suits came to light, so the legal situation didn't really contribute to its popularity. I'm here only to discuss the reasoning behind why Cupid went viral, which means that I will be mentioning some of the involved parties since they were a part of its creation, but I'm not here to comment on the morality or suspected guilt of said people, just their contribution to Cupid and its success. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into why Cupid went viral. 50-50 debuted in November of 2022 under Attrakt Entertainment to a fair amount of success, especially for a Nugu group. Something special about the debut and about the group in general is how they were created. The CEO of Attrakt allowed the founder of The Givers, their production team, to overhaul the training, planning, and development process. They hand-selected each of the members and built the group's sound around their strengths, rather than selecting a concept or a sound first and then forcing the girls to fit into that mold. By prioritizing the individuality and specifically training it up, they were able to make a unique identity and sound for the group. Everyone involved in the development of 50-50 has also stressed their focus on music first and foremost. As K-pop gets more and more visual and performance-based, their goal was to go back to the roots of classic pop and make music that was vocal-focused and just easy to listen to, something that's been kind of hard to come by in K-pop in recent years. This style was evident with their first title track, Higher, which was praised for its floaty and light sound. A lot of people were saying that it was their favorite debut they had seen in a while, and many were keeping an eye on them to see what they were going to do next, especially if they had taken the time to listen to the strong B-sides. I'm going to take a second and throw some love at Lovin' Me because I think it's probably one of the best B-sides of this decade and hasn't gotten near the amount of attention that it deserves. The song is stunning, and fun fact, Cupid is actually the prequel to Loving Me. So, after a warm welcome for their debut, 50-50 had their first comeback with Cupid 10 days after Valentine's Day on February 24th, 2023. No, I'm not starting with the obvious here because that would be way too predictable of me now, wouldn't it be? I already talked a little about how 50-50 is focused on making music that is vocal-focused and easy to listen to, and that means that the music is going to be fairly simple in nature. Anything that I can provide commentary on is either going to be incredibly slight and subtle or incredibly obvious already. I'm not going to be able to tear into the instrumental or the song structure for 10 minutes like I did in my Drunk Dazed or God's Menu videos because there's just not enough substance there. And that's intentionally so. A lot of the aspects of the song are predictable and surface level on purpose so that the vocals can take front and center and provide an easygoing experience for the listener. So starting from the beginning, there's this dreamy crooning with a muffling effect on it that to me is reminiscent of something off an old-timey record player. It really evokes that lazy, romantic vibe that sets the stage for the rest of the song. After those few seconds, the vocal production clears up, but the vocal delivery stays just as pillowy, soft, and gentle. In fact, the only time that the vocals aren't gentle like that is in the more rap-focused sections, so by and large, it's pretty soothing. They also have these call and response bits in the pre-chorus where you'll hear the backing vocals echoing the main melody. They're very light, but I also want to point out that they're stacked. Stacked vocals are when you put a harmony on top of a harmony on top of a harmony as many times as you want, and I wish that more groups would go harder with this because it sounds amazing when it's done right. Usually it's either done to add an extra layer of power and oomph behind a track, or it's used to create a trippy or a dreamy feel. I think it's pretty obvious which one 50/50 was going for here, and they executed it very well. Those little bits of stacked backing vocals continue to pop up in the chorus and beyond, and you'll notice in the chorus that all of the members sing in it, which is another thing that doesn't really happen often in K-pop anymore. You might also notice the lack of a high note too, which is even rarer, and I appreciate how everything is so subtle about this song. Besides the rap section, nothing really sticks out, and it lets you sort of just glide along from start to finish. Even the retro influences in the instrumental aren't too on the nose. You can hear them, yes, but it doesn't scream, "This is retro music," like a lot of other songs go out of their way to do. In almost every way, it's a song that doesn't demand attention, and I think that's why it got so much of it. You can throw it on in the background and forget you ever did so because it's so good at just existing in the most pleasant, passive, and non-invasive way possible. I give a second chance to Cupid. The English release is what went viral first because Westerners took to Cupid faster than the domestic audience. A lot of factors played into that, I think, but I want to emphasize that it was released simultaneously with the original version. That's not very common in K-pop. Yes, many groups have started releasing English versions of their songs, but up until very recently, they were released way later, almost as an afterthought, and that can cause problems for its success. Wait too long, and you lose that free and effective word-of-mouth advertising because the hype has already died. By releasing both at the same time, K-pop stans that are just starting to enjoy the song can sneak the English version to their non-K-pop stan friends without raising any eyebrows. And I totally don't say that as someone who has sneaked English K-pop songs to my non-K-pop stan friends without raising any eyebrows. The English release of Cupid, called the twin version, also has a few key differences that make it distinct from the original and even more of an easy listen song. One of the big changes is the nixing of the rap section to be replaced with just an instrumental section. I think there could be a couple of reasons for this, since Westerners are actually pretty used to rap features on tracks. It could be that they were worried about pronunciation when working at a faster pace, like in a rap, because the pronunciation throughout the twin version is amazing. Like, I wouldn't even know that they aren't native speakers. Or it could be that they just left it as an instrumental, so it could be easily used as background music for, say, a TikTok or other online content. The other big change is that there isn't a key change in the twin version, which I think is just to simplify the song even more. They were really trying to make it as digestible as possible. As K-pop listeners, I think we tend to forget that we're used to a lot more auditory shenanigans than the average Western listener. Auditory shenanigans, that's a good one. I think I just found my favorite way to describe experimental K-pop. It's not that a key change in a rap verse are going to be earth-shattering to the general public over here, but it makes the ride a little bit smoother. And while I'm here, I also want to mention the lyrics because if you've listened to the English versions of K-pop songs before, you know that they sometimes get nonsensical at best and straight up cringy at worst, which I am of the opinion that if you're going to go out of your way to make an entire version in a different language, no matter what language it is, you should be doing that language justice. Otherwise, I just don't see the point in going through all that work because it's not even going to be profitable if your target audience can't stand to listen to it. But this is where I think Cupid does a great job with the twin version. Every line sounds like it comes from a native speaker, and that could be because it might. It's kind of hard to find information on the writers, but it appears that a couple of the people credited know English, and that can make a world's difference if you actually let them proofread every line. And one last thing about the lyrics, this going for both versions of the song, this might just be a me thing, but I love how they subvert the title. Like, I was following the teasers before Cupid dropped, and I was thinking, oh, a song called Cupid, released in February, the month of love, it's going to be a cute love song. And I think I literally laughed out loud the first time that I heard it because of the bluntness of the line, Cupid is so dumb. And they sing it so sweetly, too. Like, it sounds mocking, and I kind of live for it. But if you actually listen to the lyrics, they're pretty sad. It's all about this girl that's longing so hard for love, but just keeps getting burned, and so she's stuck in this loop between thinking that love isn't worth it and being so lonely that she still craves it anyway. I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm a sucker for songs that sound happy but are actually depressing when you look closer, but I think it's great. Okay, I know what all of you are already thinking I'm going to talk about for this song in a section titled Marketing, but I'm going to need you to pause, take a few steps back, because that's coming, but not yet. That'll get its own whole thing, I promise. But I wanted to briefly mention some of the other efforts that are not clock app oriented. Probably the most impactful would be the support from Warner Records only a couple of months after its release, in April after the song started picking up steam. This was a huge deal, and I don't know if many people realize just how huge it was, because Warner Records is one of the subsidiaries of Warner Music Group, which is one of the big three recording companies. So, you know how K-pop has like the big three or the big four? Yeah, Warner Music Group is one of those, but for like the entire world. If that doesn't give you a sense of scale, then I don't know what will, but I guess some of you also might be familiar with FNC Entertainment, home to groups like SF9, P1 Harmony, and formerly AOA. Well, I discovered something new, which is that FNC is a subsidiary of Warner Music Group. So yeah, not much more to say than that fiftyfifty having the backing of Warner Records was massive. And while that's all super important, that's also the boring business side of things. There's not much more to say about it, so I just want to move on and talk about the docuseries that they produced and posted on YouTube, because while it's not much in terms of views or driving popularity, it's an interesting glimpse for prospective fans hoping to learn more about the group. Across each of the 7 parts, it's got over 1 million views, and it walks through the creation of Cupid at every stage of production. You can see behind the scenes of the recording process, their dance practices, their photo shoots, music video shoots, music show promotions, and interspersed between all of these glances behind the curtain are little interviews with each member where they share their thoughts during each point. By watching it, people can gain a closer connection with the idols and feel like they're sitting in on the creative process themselves. This docuseries is way beyond what I would expect every group to produce for every comeback, but I do wish that more would consider at least trying something like this once. It's a unique thing being taken through the entire journey of a comeback from start to finish, and I think fiftyfifty was onto something by putting it all together. Many groups will put out behind-the-scenes videos of their music videos, photo shoots, or comeback stages. Fewer will release footage of them in the recording studio. Almost none of them will string it together in an easily accessible way that allows anyone, not just dedicated fans, anyone even minutely interested to follow the entire process from beginning to end. So what this docuseries lacks in numbers, I think it makes up for in concept. I'm so lonely, hold me tightly, 작은 거 warning, really love me truly, 내게 기다림은 없어, I can't wait. Okay, here we go. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that can go unsaid here, but I'm gonna say it anyways, because of course I will. So TikTok. Cupid went absolutely viral there in multiple forms. Whether it was the original version or the twin versions, sped up or normal, it was everywhere. And it seems that a lot of that was because of how the song was designed to be a lighthearted and easygoing listen. You know how earlier I said it would be easy to throw the song on and forget you ever did so because of how passive it is? Well, it's easy to do the same while making a TikTok. It serves as a nice upbeat background that won't take away from the actual content at the forefront of the video. Or if you don't have any content that people actually need to pay attention to, then it's just something cute and fun to play. And of course, the massive amounts of money put into pushing creators to use the audio also helped too, which, if you weren't aware of that, yes, that was a whole situation. Music industry insiders said that a lot of the 8 billion won, or about $6.1 million that was used to kickstart the group went into social media marketing. There was an alleged email sent out to creators stating that the company would compensate them for using Cupid in their YouTube shorts, and there was a huge stink about it when this came out, which... Why? I saw these headlines and I went, okay, cool, but apparently there was a pretty large group of people who had a lot of things to say about it. So, to the people who were outraged about this, I just have one question. Do you not know how marketing works? Like, seriously. I am genuinely concerned at the number of people who treated this like it was some sketchy backwards tactic when it is quite literally the standard. Well, I mean, not quite the standard. 8 billion won is a lot of money, but still, it's like, do people not know that this is common practice? Is this actually a new concept to people? Because I thought that we all knew that this was a thing. Like, I haven't even graduated college yet, but in my advertising internships, I myself have literally been the one to put money behind social posts and propose relevant micro-influencers that could promote a brand effectively. This whole asking people to use Cupid as the audio for their short-form content is literally no different than a brand deal. And if you're gonna try to entirely discredit a group solely on this basis because you think it's anything more sinister, hey, wake up. It's 2023. Almost nothing popular is actually organic, and you would be hard-pressed to find an audio that went viral without having at least a little financial nudge. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it's time to realize that that's just how marketing works now. Because if you don't, I genuinely worry for how easily you could be manipulated by the media around you. There was also another group of people saying that Cupid was only popular because of the money put behind it, and while the money probably played a huge role in it taking off, it wouldn't have spent 25 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 if it weren't for all of the other marketing efforts and if people didn't take a liking to the song itself. I mean, 25 weeks, that's only second to BTS in terms of K-pop. Money can do a lot, but it can't do that all on its own. So I just wanted to take a second to defend Cupid here because I feel like a lot of the hate, specifically surrounding these reasons, really was very forced. To me, it seemed like a lot of K-pop stans felt threatened by their sudden rise to stardom and were looking for any reason to tear them down, which unfortunately happens a lot with groups from small companies that find success. But to the general public, not just in Korea, but all around the world, none of that mattered. It was just a likable song that they could put on their playlist and share with their friends, even if it was K-pop. So there you have it, why Cupid went viral. Of course, this is not exhaustive by any means. This is more just me throwing my 2 cents out there and pointing out things that I noticed because, I mean, it's literally an entire series I do on this channel, and Cupid is one of the most unexpectedly viral K-pop songs in, like, ever, so I knew I needed to cover it at some point. But that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any other reasons that Cupid went viral, because I don't know why, but I have this feeling like I'm really missing something. I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that this video is under half an hour, so my brain is like, it should be longer, but yeah, if I am missing something, then drop a comment yelling at me. Also, if you liked the video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel as it really helps me out. Thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye!